Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big 30 back with another one. Today I'm going to do a story of a teenage black girl who went on a date with this guy, and it happened in April. She went on a date with a guy. The first date, then I guess the date went bad. She didn't she didn't like him. She's no longer interested in him. But unfortunately, crazy dudes like that wouldn't take no for an answer. So much so that not only he deleted her, but he also dismembered her. Um, I mean, cut her in pieces. Even set the car on fire to cover up the evidence. Anyway, we gonna get into the story. We gonna do a reaction video on the Isaiah Factor in Houston.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. The investigation into the death of a 19-year-old Milwaukee woman who went on a first date and never returned home is still continuing. Sade Robinson was killed and dismembered after going on a date on April 1st, and police are still finding body parts. Police say they found Robinson's arm on a beach in May, and most of her body parts have been recovered from.
Damn. It's hard to believe she went on a date with this guy. You see this guy? I mean, tell me he doesn't have evil intentions.
May, and most of her body parts have been recovered from Milwaukee County parks, including her torso, her right leg, and another arm. 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson, you're looking at him here in court, is charged in the case.
Dang, he's 33 years old dating a 19-year-old. 14-year age difference.
Prosecutors say Anderson killed Robinson before chopping up her body and setting her car on fire to try and cover it up. Said we have to think about safety going on a first date, but that's the reality, and it has always been the reality. This is your refresher tonight. Joining us to talk about it, Lady McCallum. So, Lady McCallum, like I said, this has always been a problem, that first date. And we want to remind people just how we don't know someone, even if we've been with them a year or a few years.
Anybody can twist.
Anybody
can
turn. Don't know someone.
Yeah, until they snap.
Right.
I mean, there's a femicide problem in America that we don't talk about, right?
That's why it's always good to vet people before you consider going on a date, going on a hunch, or whatever. Because you never know when it's going to be your last. Unfortunately.
Right? I was telling them earlier, there's 3 women a day get killed by intimate partners in the U.S. Did you know that? I mean, 3 women a day get murdered by intimate partners. About 133 women and girls get murdered in their own home every day in the world. And we don't talk about this. So there is a huge femicide problem that we just don't talk about because it's just a misogyny thing, right? We don't want to think about that. We don't want to think about it. We just want to hush it up. So this stuff happens every day, and this one was just so
Well, there are stories when women set dudes up to get robbed or murdered, but yet you're giving this a whole different energy than that story. Than that scenario.
graphic that it caught everyone's attention. But it shouldn't be something that we don't talk about because it happens every day.
And what we have seen is the world gets smaller because of apps,
Right,
because
correct.
of the internet,
hookup
because
apps,
of
yeah.
social media.
Right.
And so you're meeting.
Not only the world gets smaller, but dates are hard to come by. And demand gets wider and wider and more egregious.
People you probably would never come into contact
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
And so your chances of being in danger have just increased.
Exponentially higher. It's one of those things where you have to take this seriously. You can't make it a joke. And if you're worried about making the other person uncomfortable with your safety, you shouldn't be going out in the first place. There's so many things that girls and women should do, especially femmes. So what we do, my friends, when they go out on a first date, they will literally send me their location. They'll tell me where they're going, who they're going with. They will screenshot the person's profile. They will screenshot the person's Facebook. And then when they get there, they're really, really good about this. They will take a picture of the guy and send it to me, like immediately. And it's something that
And
people
you can do
don't
it
think about.
covertly. Let's take a quick
No,
selfie.
oh no. I tell them to make it obvious what they're doing, to tell the man, be like, I'm going to take a picture and send it to my friend just in case you're a serial killer. Make it a joke, right? But still do it. Because if he's going to get uncomfortable about that, then something's wrong anyways. Because
Right.
he should be worried about her
So if
safety
that
as
person
well.
says, look, I don't want my picture taken.
That's interesting. That's an interesting point that she brought up. When she have a friend that's on a date, she want her to take a picture of the guys that she's dating, like take a screenshot of them, just in case. But that's gonna take away from the date, don't you think? I mean, that's going to me. That's going to not only ruin his experience, but potentially her experience if she did what this woman suggested.
Bounce. That's a red flag immediately. Like, I understand if you're uncomfortable getting your picture taken to a stranger, but this is somebody you're trying to date, and you're trying to make her feel safe, so I don't see the problem with that. Like, there's so many things.
Well, what about his safety? I mean, you taking his picture, then you disseminate it to your friend, then your friend going to disseminate to everybody else, and they gonna probably either make jokes or make what's it called? I forget the name.
Things that women have to worry about when they go anywhere, right? We have to worry about walking in the garage. We have to worry about grocery stores. We have to worry about everything. A first date should be safe, but it never is.
And what about locations? Should you, as a female...
No, instead of taking the picture, why don't you just vet the person? Vet him or vet her deeply before you even consider the idea of going on a date.
Just to ensure you're safe, be in control of the location.
Oh, yeah.
Should you go somewhere you've never heard of before?
I mean, I don't know.
Obviously,
It
you're
depends.
exploring,
Right,
but-
yeah.
yeah.
It depends, right? If he's, like, telling you to meet him somewhere and he won't tell you what it is, that's a red flag. I mean, if it's somewhere that you can track, that's fine. If it's somewhere that's, like, got a lot of people, that's fine as well. It's one of those things, you're going to have to play it by ear, but you have to keep checking in with people. You have to keep telling people where you are, what you're doing. Like, and I personally, I carry knives on me all the time. But here's the problem with weapons, okay? My best friend carries her Glock. She's strapped every day, all the time. But she has been professionally trained, okay? More women are killed by intimate
She's playing cowgirl is what she's doing.
partners taking their own gun and weapon from them and using it on the women. Because women don't go get the training. They get the weapon, they get the knife, but they don't know how to use it. So the best thing for you to do is actually go and get this training from somewhere. And I mean it. Like, go and do survival training because it's scary out there for women. This stuff happens every day.
And some...
Like men don't get targeted by women or by other dudes. I mean, there's more women in this world than there are men, but yet all your concerns is about women so vulnerable in this world. I understand they're vulnerable, but they're not the only species that's vulnerable in the United States or everywhere in the world.
Sometimes you don't know until you know when that person snaps.
Yeah.
But is it also still a good idea to do a background check?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, but this is 2024, right? Now, we have people that...
I'm so sick of them announcing what year. It doesn't matter what year it is. It still goes on. It could be 2024. It could be 1924. It could be 2028. It doesn't matter.
can track you down on social media to every bad thing you've ever done in your life. Okay?
Yeah.
So why would you be worried about somebody who wants to eventually date you on a long-term basis doing a background check on you? Like, if somebody said to me, I'd be like, okay, it's a little weird, but do it. Go for it for your own safety, right?
Right.
Because, I mean, I'm a little off. We all know that. So I would understand. But it's just one of those things, like, if something makes somebody feel safe, if somebody's so worried about you that they want to do a background check on you, why would you be against that? So, yeah, I do that. Get a background check. Go check what they're talking about. Make sure that their stories line up. This is safety. You have to check everything now.
All right, Lady McCallum, thank you for the great advice. Hopefully...
Yeah, thank you for somewhat of a great advice. But I do agree. You do have to do your due diligence and do background checks on people before you even consider dating them or just being friends with them, because you never know their intentions. And thoughts and prayers to the 19-year-old's family. And let's hope that the dude gets a lengthy sentence, either the death penalty or life in prison. Anyway, that's the story for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, push the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.